Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins of the official Marvel DC Multiverse, and we are now at episode 477, and I'll be doing a review on Kraven the Hunter. So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Kraven the Hunter, I strongly suggest that you do not listen to this episode. You've been warned. So, following the death of his mother, Sergei Kravenov and his half-brother Dmitri are taken by their father, Nikolai, to prepare to take over his drug trafficking operations. During a hunting trip in Ghana, Sergei is heavily injured protecting his brother from a lion. A girl named Calypso heals him with a serum and calls for rescue, leaving a tarot card behind. Sergei soon discovers his physical attributes. Sergei soon discovers his physical attributes have become animalistic. Nikolai reveals he killed the lion to teach his sons a lesson. A disgusted Sergei flees to a sanctuary owned by his mother in Russia. 16 years later, Sergei, now going by Kraven, is a vigilante who hunts criminals. After killing an arms trafficker in a Russian prison, Kraven travels to London for Dimitri's birthday. Their reunion is short-lived when mercenaries capture Dimitri and invade Kraven's pursuit. When Nikolai refuses to pay the ransom, Kraven tracks down Calypso, now working as a lawyer, and convinces her to help. Meanwhile, Dmitri meets the man behind his kidnapping, Alexei Sitsevich, who took part in an experiment, granting him the strength and visage of a rhinoceros. Alexei proposes an alliance to overthrow Nikolai. Discovering Kraven's connection to Dmitri, Alexei lures him to a monastery in Turkey, but Kraven survives the ambush. Alexei is then approached by the Foreigner, an assassin who uses ocular hypnosis to disorient his targets, with an offer, to kill Kraven. Tracking Kraven and Calypso to a sanctuary and using Dmitri as bait, Alexei, and the Foreigner ambush Kraven. Drugging him with neurotoxin, the Foreigner attacks Kraven, but Calypso kills him with a crossbow and revives Kraven. He then uses a buffalo stampede to track Alexei. Of course, who, despite turning into the Rhino and briefly overpowering Kraven, is killed. Discerning that Nikolai was the one who revealed his existence to Alexei. Sorry, I was pronouncing it wrong previously. But Kraven tracks his father for answers. Nikolai reveals that he knew Alexei was targeting him and manipulating his sons to remove him. Kraven steals ammunition so that his father will be killed by a bear. 1 year later, Kraven visits Dmitri and is shocked that he has willingly succeeded their father's criminal empire. Having gained shapeshifting abilities from the doctor who experimented on Alexei, Dmitri discovers what happened to his father and disowns Kraven, stating that despite his claims of being morally superior, he and Nikolai were the same, hunters searching for their next great trophy. At home, Kraven discovers a note from Nikolai along with a vest made from the skin of the killed lion from long ago, which he puts on. I'm going to be honest with you. The film was decent, but it could have been better, to be honest. The one thing I don't like about the film was that Rhino was done poorly, and there was not a Spider-Man cameo. So, I mean, the Rhino was supposed to be as big as the Hulk. Because Rhino was big enough to take on Hulk. But instead, they decided to make him, like, I'd say, at least probably 3 inches taller, 3 or 6 inches taller than Kraven. So, nowhere near the Hulk's height, pretty much. And the Rhino had pants. So, I don't know whose idea it was to give Rhino pants, but that was pretty much crazy. I understand the writers, their way of thinking. You know, it's bad enough you're having a bunch of Spider-Man spin-offs without Spider-Man and expecting the film to make money. So, obviously, the critics did like a little private screening, and they gave the film negative reviews, to be honest. So, everything was, would have been, like I said, the film would have been good if they had done a Spider-Man cameo of Tom Holland, and, had Rhino, if they had done Rhino better in CGI, because, come on, since when does Rhino wear pants? So obviously the Rhino was not comic book accurate. Would have been close, but wasn't close enough. So the film would have, like I said, they could have done better. But Rhino did not need pants. And they, shouldn't have killed off the Rhino as well. Because it was supposed to be a prep for the Sinister Six. You had, was it Vulture and Morbius? That was 2. Then Kraven would have been 3. And, of course, Chameleon would have been 4. And then Rhino would have been 5 if he wasn't killed off. So, who would have been, who would have been the other 2 if Rhino wasn't the 5th? So they dropped the ball on that one. Rhino wasn't even in there for very long. The alter ego was, but as far as like the actual Rhino, he wasn't even in there for that long. So that pretty much pissed me off on that. So yeah, it's unbelievable that they would even write something like that in there. And on top of that, the film made it made $58.7 million worldwide with a production budget of somewhere between 110 to 130 million. So it might have been $110 million production budget, or what, 130, somewhere between there. So yeah, that's a huge box office flop. And now they're probably not going to do any more Spider-Man spinoffs. So now they're going to have to renegotiate with Marvel Studios, which is what they should have done long ago, and have it to where Tom Holland could have appeared in both the MCU and Spider-Verse films. But they didn't think that, obviously, they didn't think that deal through before Captain America Civil War, obviously. And Sony thought that, oh, we're going to do Spider-Man spinoffs without Spider-Man, and we're probably going to make a lot of money. Boy, were they wrong. I mean, that's like DC having a Batman spinoff without Batman. I mean, how are you going to have a Joker film without Batman? How are you going to have a Robin film without Batman? Or Nightwing. That's crazy. So, I mean, I still want to see more Kraven. I want to see Kraven, I want to see Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven take on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I also want to see the Sinister Six. And I guess we won't get that until after Secret Wars. Because in Secret Wars, there's going to be an incursion to where Earth 616 is going to collide with another universe. And we're talking in that other universe probably is going to have the Fantastic Four, the Spider-Man characters, including the villains, along with, X-Men. So all those characters are probably in that universe can collide with Earth 616. Therefore, you can bring back Rhino, bring back T'Challa. Any character has been killed off pretty much in the previous MCU films and in the Spider-Verse films. So that includes Carnage as well as Shriek. So, yeah. Those can be brought back, and then whatever happened in the Spider-Verse films can pretty much be undone. So, like I said, none of the superheroes need an origin story, except for the ones that make their debuts pretty much. But yeah, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to bring back, Rhino, Shriek, Carnage, anybody who was killed off in Venom: The Last Dance, pretty much, into that universe. So therefore, it'd be like it never happened. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that incursion, pretty much. But yeah, the writing was okay. Like I said, it could have been better. They could have done the Rhino better. But aside from that, the action was pretty good, though. So I'll give it. Now, would I buy this? Would I add this to my Apple TV collection? Probably not. I don't know. But it depends on what happens after Secret Wars. So, and if any of the other characters will be in this MCU, pretty much, from the Spider-Man universe. So, that depends. But anyway, that concludes this review. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, and of course, Twitch.